Hey dudes, and welcome back to Zombie High. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I am Pika Master, and in the last one we met Chase's friends, and Tatum got too close to a zombie and wound up getting knocked out. And we chose to pull our crowbars and help her. So let's go ahead and get back into it. You pull your crowbar from your backpack and rush to help Tatum. It only takes one swing to fend off Grams, but Pizza Dude puts up a bigger fight. You smack the side of his head repeatedly. One of his eyeballs begins to bulge in its socket. But still he continues to pull Tatum closer. Just when you think she's done for, her eyes flutter open. Kick! You shout. She does, knocking Pizza Dude right under the chin and dislodging the left side of his jaw. She scrambles away as he lunges for you, but before you have time to react, you hear a crack as Nick delivers a solid blow to the top of Pizza Dude's head. The bag slumps over with one final groan. You alright? Chase grabs you by the shoulder and pulls you towards him. Caroline and Nick are already locked in a passionate embrace. I think so. Relieved, you push your hair behind your ear and feel wetness. There's a small smear of blood on your finger. You try to hide it, but Chase has already noticed. Oh crap, he says, his face turning white. I think I'm gonna faint. Shut up, it's nothing. Tatum stands up, rubbing the back of her head. She doesn't appear to have a scratch on her. Guys, maybe we should get back. Yeah, you're right, Chase says. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all, huh? The four of you walk back in silence. Nick pushes open the auditorium door and a shaft of lights cuts across the darkened audience. There's a man on stage. Principal Gupton, you assume, who stops mid-sentence and squints against the spotlight in your direction. 300 heads turn around in unison to gawk at the interruption. Chase slinks off toward a group of empty seats in the back, and the rest of you quickly follow. So nice of you to join us, whoever you are, fluttered. Principal Gupton shuffles through his notes. Now, where was I? Okay, well then, I'd like to welcome our new class of first years. I encourage all second and third students to help them out this first week with finding their classes and adjusting to the way things work around here. I'm sure you all remember what a big change it all is. Bait! Someone behind you drawls. All students must take a core set of subjects each year, including science, physical education, and history. You all should have received your individual schedules by now, and though you may excel in one particular area, I urge everyone to give their best effort in every subject. Remember. Principal Gupton paused dramatically here, raising his arms as if to embrace the entire student body in a bear hug. You are the future of humanity. Each one of you is responsible for staying alive. If I had to grow up under circumstances like this, here his voice breaks. He brings a balled fist to his mouth. He pauses and shakes his head. I'm sorry. I really don't know how you kids do it. You cringe uncomfortably, hoping he doesn't start bawling like a baby, but he clears his throat and continues on. I also want to remind everyone to practice caution at all times. We do our best to keep the school as safe as possible, but unfortunately, the threat of infection is ever present. If you or someone you know gets bitten or even scratched, go to the health office immediately. As you all know, AZ-922 has shown promise with level 2 scratches and treat bites up to level 7, but it must be administered quickly. The longer you wait, the less likely it will work. Tammy Yoder is effecto. Student shouts, followed by a chorus of laughter. Principal Gupton glares into the darkness. Infection is nothing to be ashamed of, people. But if you insist on hiding it, it's just a matter of time before you get infected again and again. And then before you know it, you're undead. Understand? His question is meant with silence, but you know that you and everyone else around you are thinking the same way. There's no way I'd admit to it. I'd rather die than have everyone know I'm a fecto. And yeah, sure, it's dumb and potentially deadly way of thinking, but it's simple human nature. No one wants to admit to being the kid with cooties. You've heard all the stories from Chase. Even if the vaccine works for you, it still means permanent social suicide, as Tammy Yoder could testify. Principal Gupton clears his throat. Moving on. We operate on a bullet-based merit system here. That means if you do well on an assignment, you get a bullet. If you show strength and courage in PE, you get a bullet. Likewise, we will confiscate bullets for negative behavior. But as you all know, in accordance with sector law, minors are allowed firearms only in supervised situations. Speaking of which, we are looking at a new first period corridor monitor. Monitors are in charge of scanning and apprehending anyone exhibiting infection or other suspect behavior. You'll be paired with Val Kilmeida. Val, can you stand up? Principal Gupton gestures to the girl in the third row, who rises reluctantly to face the rest of the auditorium. Her freckled face is framed by a halo of short red braids that makes her head appear to be on fire. Someone in back wolf whistles and another clown makes a crude, reluctant noise. Val scowls and sits back down as a wave of laughter travels across the audience. Principal Gupton taps on the microphone for attention. Alright, everybody. Val is one of our most experienced monitors. So any first year who is interested will be in good hands. I shouldn't have to remind you all that this is an excellent training opportunity. So, do I have any volunteers? I think he means any suckers, Chase murmurs under his breath. You look at your class schedule and see that you have first period study hall. What a yawn. You have to admit that hunting meatbags every morning would be sweet, but you're hesitant to call attention to yourself so early in your high school career. Clearly, corridor monitoring is not the fast track to popularity. Anyone at all. There's a hint of desperation in Principal Gupton's voice as he scans the crowd. Did I mention you get to carry a loaded rifle? What do you do? There's another minute or so of uncomfortable silence until finally a tall, lanky kid wearing a baseball cap stands up. A wave of relief washes over the principal's face. Thank you, Polly. Please check in with Sergeant Davidson at the supply room. Everyone else is dismissed. The auditorium erupts into a low level of chaos as the students scramble for their bags and exchange goodbyes with their friends. Chase grabs a hold of your backpack and steers you gently in the direction of the exit. Come on, I'll show you where your room is. I got it. Okay, he says, and you detect a hint of disappointment as his voice. Guess I'll see you at lunch. Sure. Later. You usually find your way to study hall and check in with the teacher who introduces himself as Mr. Nelson. He assigns you a seat next to a pretty blonde ponytailed girl who obviously royalty. She's painting her nails a strange neon green color, and she looks up momentarily to give you a half-hearted smile. Hey, you say back. I'm Jane. Jenna holds her hand out at arm's length and studies it thoughtfully. What do you think of this color? What do I say? It's awesome, cool, but check out mine. I don't know. Let's just say it's awesome. Ooh, I actually got some popularity. It's awesome, you say. Jenna's face lights up and she leans forward. Thanks. My dad brought it back from Gamma Sector when he was sent there on a special mission. He was a scientist working on a cure